So now we're discussing scary times in my life of like things that like could have gone worse or like things that went really south, and like honestly like God's hand was in all everything because now I'm okay. Obviously like I'm doing good. I'm thriving in general. You know what I mean? I'm not being like blessed by financially or anything like that. But like, I'm in a good spot. So, and I feel like in general like I'm doing okay. So with that being said, we're gonna discuss this first time there was this guy. He was obviously under the influence, and he basically like we went into this dollar store. Me and this old friend of mine. We're not friends anymore, but basically we had gone into this dollar store and we were about to go to the gym, and the cashier tells the other worker like, "Hey, like watch out for this guy." And basically we walk out and the guy screams. She goes, right when you're about like my friend at the time is like, oh, like right when you get outside, like run to the car because I just have a bad feeling. And he starts screaming, "Hey!" And he starts going after us with like a stick, and like tries to hit our car but like stops midpoint, like try to scare us. And I'm like backing out. I get out of the, I go to the drive to the gym, and it's just like super scary. Like that was crazy. There was another time where like I was coming out of my house, like the old house. Like I lived in this house for a year. And basically there was this group of girls that were like drunk outside, like, and one of the girls was like telling the other girl, "Don't take her serious, don't take her serious, don't hit." And then the other girl, they start fighting, like her and this other girl, the one who's like trying to get into a fight with this other girl. They start fighting, and they start getting into an altercation, and like they're trying, like they're all over like my driveway, and so I'm like trying to get out of there because I'm trying to go to work. It's like 5 in the morning, like 5:30, and I like back out somehow when they're like barely out of the way. Like the next story is like the most like craziest story, I feel like, because it was like right in front of me. So my grandma, I lived with my grandma for like 6 months, and she has this little dog, and he's still alive, he's still thriving. But basically she was like, "Oh, let's go on a walk," and I was like, "Yeah." So I go on a walk with my grandma, and the we're like walking my grandma's dog, and I'm walking my grandma's dog, like I have him specifically on a leash. And then this dog comes out of nowhere, like out of this house, and the guy is like not freaked out. The dog starts attacking my grandma's dog in front of me, and I'm like freaking out. And then the dog runs back because the guy, I'm like screaming, and the owner comes out, and he's like, he like locks the dog up, and then he just like standing in his driveway after that happened, and he's just staring at me with his arms folded, and I'm like, so I go up to him like, "Hey, like you're gonna have to pay for like what happened," and he goes, "Oh, I know," and I'm like, "Okay, well, how are we gonna do the payment? Because how am I supposed to get in contact with you?" He's like, "Oh, just mail it to my house and I'll pay." And I was like, "That's not how it works." I was like, "Can I have your information?" He was like, I was like, "What's your address?" He's like, "Can't you see my address?" He was just being rude and ugly, like on top of like his dog attacking my grandma's dog. And then after that, I asked him for like his number. He's giving it to me really fast, and I can't get a hold of it. And I'm like, "Oh, like, do you want to? Can you just put it in my phone?" He's like, "I'm not gonna touch your phone." Like he's being super rude. On top of the situation, that's his fault. And then for having his dog outside without a leash, and so just running freely. And then on top of that, he's just like being really rude. And like, yeah. I leave, and I before I go, "You're really lucky," and I'm off his property at this point. I'm like, "You're really lucky it was like my grandma's dog," like not trying to like minimize the problem, but I was like, this is what I told him. I was like, "You're really lucky it was like my grandma's dog. If it was like a person or like a kid, like you'd be in jail right now." And he was like, he told me to get the F out, and I'm like, "Okay." So then my aunt tries calling him the next day after I take my grandma's dog to the hospital, and then she relieves me to go and like basically like pay for my grandma's dog's like operation. And like 'cause we were waiting there for a long time because it was packed, and that it was during COVID. in that dog hospital. And basically my aunt released me after that. Calls the guy, and he like first is like doesn't answer the phone, and then he answers the phone. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be at work all day. And then she's like, and he goes, oh, actually, never mind. Can I go to your house and see like what papers you got from the vet just to verify? Like, and like, dude, like, what do you need to verify? Like, you saw what happened. And like, then he's like, actually, I want to meet you right now. And she's like, no, like, I have to pick up my dog, her dog. And she's like, that's what she says, like she had to pick up her dog. And then the guy's like, okay, and he's like rushing her. And then we meet him at a Bill Miller's, and he's like being rude, he's being snappy. He's like, oh, I don't want to pay for any of that. He goes, you guys are faking the papers. I don't think these papers are real. I'm gonna take this to court. I'm gonna involve my lawyer. And we're like, are you serious right now? And she had me there just as like a witness type of thing. And he's just like being really ugly. And then so finally she meets with him again later, because he's finally like, okay, I'll pay for it. And he makes like an agreement with her, like a notarized agreement, and she signs it. And basically he pays like the operation, but he says he's not gonna pay for anything else. She's like, okay, you're not gonna pay for anything obviously, like you're just gonna pay for the operation. And he basically pays for it. But that was like, he was such a jerk. Like, I'm not trying to be like judging him, but like he was being such a jerk. Like, but it's crazy how these things can happen, and like in a blink of an eye something can happen. But anyway guys, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.